These damn birds won't fetch more than a pittance.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
You return marks of victory, Hunter. We'll vanquish our foes yet.
Aha! I have company, I see. And it's such a delightfully opportune moment, too. I'm just about to conduct a small experiment, and if you have an interest in magic and science, you'll oblige me by taking part in it, will you not? I've laced this area with more than a few pernicious little friends who are simply bursting with the anticipation of supper. But they simply abhor uncooked meat, so you may find they'll want to char you before ripping out your throats. Now, your job is to put up a mite of resistance against your inevitable death. Sounds good, yes? Right then. On your mark, get set, go.
very spot we've found in this graveyard, as rife with the signs of necromancy as corpses are with worms. Though perhaps necramatacy is a more fitting, if rather contrived word for what we've witnessed here. To the grave they are drawn, and into the grave they creep, the maggot musterers that plague Sicil with their petty witchcraft. None of them grasp that necromancy, true necromancy, is the pursuit of life everlasting. That its end goal is to play chess with death and topple his king. Necromancy as we know it is an art practiced by base-born dilettantes. That is the real tragedy we are confronted with. One has been spared, and one has been blinded by the swords of ignorance, like so very many have before you. One of you perceives, and one of you decries the ambition, pure and true, that drove the patriarchs of necromancy. Decries it simply because its purity has been veiled of late in the common horrors of the coffin. Still, I never expected to find much lucidity of mind within the confines of mere huntsmen's skulls. The lucidity that seems to permeate in one of your number, nonetheless, for now I'll regard as a happy little anomaly. Staff of Justice!
That shovel has... Sweet relief.
Indeed. And who knows what manner of riches we'll unearth together with this tried and true treasure digger.
Enough to finish this mission with a long vacation in the tropics, gazing side by side at a burgundy horizon, if we're lucky.
As good as a new penny.
Dragon's Claw.
pry to enter the church, the statues that flank its heavy oaken doors address you.
Hold your horses, stranger. This holy hall may be entered by those who are loyal to the goddess only. And even eyes of stone can see you are no such creature. Ha! Who are those loyal to the goddess, it asks. They are those who have seen the powers of blood, ignorant one. They partake in the knowledge of old. Blood is life. Blood undoes death. Such is the wisdom you cannot even conceive. It is a wish we cannot grant, unless you prove you have knowledge of the goddess. Answer us therefore the following question. How is she known among the loyal? The exalted one, she who speaks for the goddess. We are taken aback by your words, stranger. But we believe you may be right. Go. You may enter the church. Let these loyals find other, less gullible stooges.
Source Hunter. Have you come to lend your blood to our cause? How much simpler all this would be if only it was so. Still, I cannot blame you for struggling against me. What reason have you to trust me that your efforts are misplaced? But now, with Braccus Rex nearly risen, there's little more you can do to hinder me. Perhaps for the better. When we first met on the beaches of Sicile, I underestimated you. That blunder has cost me dearly. Still, after all, you need not know more than this. The end is coming. The end of sorrow. The end of pain. Those who oppose me oppose peace itself. And here I thought you'd seen it yourself. Tell me, what is the imp historian doing, if not begging you to divert the void? So, you're familiar after all. You know as well as I that the void is coming. In fact, if I'm very precise, it's already here. But you need not be afraid. The void is ourselves. We are destined to rejoin it. I have chosen a dark and dangerous path, but I vow that those sacrificed have not suffered in vain. My only wish for all of Rivellon is the soft hush of silence. Braccus Rex was the forefather of our cause. The original Immaculate. His resurrection brings Rivellon one step closer to the ultimate solution. Dissolution. Wouldn't you like to meet him? The sorcerer your order was formed to destroy. I'm certain he'd love nothing more than to meet you. Follow me. Find out.
have mercy on your soul.
I've got my eyes on the prize. All the way to my foot soles.
Maybe the lock can be jimmied.
magic here. How will we deactivate it?
That cultist must have used some kind of key or spell to get through.
Malia. Precious Malia. Source Hunter. Huh. By the health of the Seven, you're here. There may yet be hope. Perhaps you remember me as a healer. But gods, what a herald of death I have become. I'm beyond redemption now. But you alone may save Sicil, may save all of Rivellon from the horror I've summoned. King Braccus Rex from the tales of old. He lives. The mad Source King, the Lord of Chaos. I have awakened him. I've done a terrible thing. I've raised a mad king from beyond the grave. I imagined so very foolishly that I'd be able to extract an ancient secret from him. But with a simple flash of his arcane magic, I was finished. I'll tell you all I know, Source Hunter. Resurrected, revived. The king lives, but not as the man he once was. He retains the mark of death upon him, like a festering wound. The last of the mad Source Kings he was. The tyrant who nearly condemned Rivellon to oblivion. He began the War of Wars, marching brother against friend, until every land and home burned with death. It was during this dark time that your order, the Source Hunters, was formed. Braccus was defeated, and Source outlawed from the land. Braccus was a dangerous monster, but he achieved things no man or mortal could have dreamt of. He alone is said to have known a great secret, how to break a forge of souls. I promised to extract this secret for a woman calling herself the Conduit. In exchange, she vowed to reveal to me a certain power of her own. In hindsight, I see that I dealt with the devil, and I've received my damnation. I was given a great stone, a bloodstone, but more charged with life than any I'd seen before. The Conduit said it would imbue Braccus with life enough to share the secret she craved. But what he has become, his powers have all returned, and I cannot stop him. My failures are so many, I can hide them no longer. In my pursuit of the Source King, I've called forth abominations that neither I nor any other can destroy. The ghoul that guards the lighthouse, the Baron of Bones, the twins by fire joined. Their ghastly faces haunt me, and they in turn have rifled through the graves and sarcophagi of Sicil in search of undead minions. Undead, Source Hunter, unkillable. I fear this plague may never end, no matter how many times the rotten dead are defeated. Curse her name, her hell-sent promises. She claims to be a link between her goddess and the world of men. I never believed her divine claims, but I could not deny her great power. It was she who showed me that Bloodstone could be used for more than healing. Her stones, particularly powerful and potent, could raise the dead. What could turn any soft soul towards wickedness? My weakness was love, and it was love that she promised me. The Conduit had shown me how to raise skeletons and zombies from their graves. But what I craved was something far more rare. A second life. A true second life for my wife, Malia. She was a beautiful soul, snatched from the world of the living far before her time. Now the Conduit's promise seemed simple. A secret for a secret. I'd tell her how to break a soul forge, and she'd tell me how to bring Malia back. You can defeat the unholiness I've raised, Source Hunter. You can save the countless innocents that will perish under the Source King's mad fist. I pray... No, I believe you can reverse my failures.
So Theleron believed that by unleashing these monsters, he'd learn the secret to resurrecting his beloved wife.
Only a true devil would cause such destruction for a bit of fancy necromancy.
He'd feed Cyseal to the Hellhounds in the name of ripping his beloved soul from the afterlife and trapping it in her mortal corpse. Disgusting.
purchase our land.
Sodden all the way to my foot soles!
I feel like I've just had a long bath in a cold lake.
And that is the final end of Braccus Rex.
May his soul remain in the depths of hell for good.
Burning torch!
spirits of Cultist. of the elements. Trembles with my power.
You were right there!
Staff of Justice.
Punch of the Pyromancer! Treasure!
sweet relief.
The king is dead. Long live... well, not he. He came close though, Braccus Rex. Close to fulfilling his dream. Dormant he would lie until loyal followers that persisted through centuries would restore him to life afresh. As a ghoul, no more was he reborn. Exactly the type of base necromancy I abhor. But now that he is dust at our feet, I can't help but feeling a morsel of pity. The work of ages, the desire beyond death we undid with a simple stroke of the sword. Oh, how you are mistaken. Life, it is such a precious commodity. So precious indeed that death is dealt in droves to merely postpone it, to make it cross the boundaries set by nature. There is much simple irony to be found in these exploits, but at the heart of it lies an equally simple endeavor, which is to overcome the most primal of fears, the dread that prompts philosophy and religion both, and that is the fear of death. To overcome death, if it were possible, is to attain victory over the unconquerable. Such a victory, what a thing of beauty it would be. Still, all this talk about immortality hits the raw and ragged nerve of passing time with relentless momentum. Onward, onward. To be idle is to die.
It is strange, Source Hunter. I have heard many tales of Braccus Rex, the radiant ruler, and King Braccus, boon of our blighted land. How can it be that the stories sang him a hero when he was in fact an evil tyrant? I suppose a song of our world would be quite different if it were written in summer or in winter. Strange, is it not? How your summer or mine goes unmarked, but that of a king, even a winter one, is sung for a century after his death.
Is it safe? Have you done it? Please tell me that you have sent Braccus Rex to the grave once and for all. Magnificent. Oh, truly wondrous. I feel like a prisoner set free. Free to bask in the daylight once more. I was so fearful. Petrified almost in the knowledge that I might see him again. You see, I knew the Mad King. In fact, I served him. I'm a wizard hunter, and that means I've seen many centuries pass me by. They weren't always happy ones, and you may take that as an understatement. I was once under Braccus's thrall, bound to him by perfidious magic. Life was an endless cycle of servitude, torture, and humiliation. Only after the first source hunters skewered him like the pig he was did my nightmare end. As you can imagine, I was afraid beyond all measure that the fiend would enslave us all once more. That I'd be cast back into the rank pit that was my past. But he hasn't, and he never will. Thank you. I will never forget this act of valor. You have foiled one of Leandra's vile designs, that much is certain. But I highly doubt you forestalled her endgame, whatever that may be. It is therefore imperative that we find her sister Ikara. As you've learned from the accursed duo that was Jake and Evelyn, the White Witch is somehow involved. I will vouch for her gentle nature, but alas, I cannot vouch for her current state of mind. Has she been corrupted by her sister, perhaps? Or have they become enemies locked in a murderous game of cat and mouse? There's no way of knowing until you find her. What I do know is that she lives in a cabin deep in Lacula Forest to the north. If anywhere, that is where I advise your travels should take you next. So you have heard of her? Yes. I knew Cassandra. She was a sweet girl when we met. Hardly a woman yet. The very opposite of her deranged brother, who did not hesitate to butcher her for his own benefit. We were fast friends in those days. Aye, more than friends. Until he took her down to the dungeons and she returned a woman no longer. A twisted lich had she become, with a twisted mind to match her grisly new shape. He remorselessly and relentlessly sought ways to cheat death. Cassandra and he were soul-forged, so he knew that if she would die, he would die. And so he turned her into a lich. Turned her into a creature neither living nor dead, so that he could break the soul forge without destroying himself in the process. Giving the matter no further thought, he rid his sister of her humanity, so as to rid himself of a spell that could threaten him. Such a man was Braccus Rex. Immortal in his mind and immortal to be in effect. As your swords and spells have demonstrated, though, to this world's everlasting contentment, his deranged fancy was not to be. I don't know. When the Source Hunters besieged Braccus's castle, I sought only to escape. I never heard of her again. Yes, I longed for freedom, for release. When I saw my chance, I ran and never looked back. Very well, Hunter. My gratitude is yours, as is my service.
That's it. Braccus Rex is dead. The way he spoke about our forebears was horrific. I wonder how many Source Hunters had to die before the Source King was deposed.
He was a man utterly corrupted by Source. Don't waste a moment thinking on his crimes. Especially not when we have a world of work ahead of us.
Yes, forward is the only way we can look now. This Source cult runs deeper than we dreamed. We must stamp it out before another Braccus Rex rises.
What a deluge!
I was really hoping to find something better.
Mood for cheese? The excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Norman land.